Listen, if you're still stuck on someone who was gone longer than they ever were really present, then Spirit's got a message. If your heart's been holding on, but your mind's screaming, let it the fuck go, then this is for you. And if the signs won't leave you alone, but the person does, then baby, this is your wake up call. I feel like I need something. You tried to fight, but you my brain is racing for my heart is racing for clarity. What is going on, y'all? It's Scott Santana, better known as Aubrey, when I'm doing these more personal, collective, zodiac style, twin flame, personal readings, whatever you want to call it. And the energy this week is very, very potent. There are a lot of people that are coming into divine unions, but then there's a lot of people that's been on a spiritual loop, on a spiritual carousel, going round and round and round. So I'm telling you now, if you found yourself upon this video, it was not by accident. Spirit literally dragged you here, pulled your edges right out the astral realm and set you down because enough is enough. You keep saying you want clarity, but you keep ignoring the truth. You keep praying for a sign and then you get mad when it don't come in a glittery box with a pretty bow and the name you were hoping for. No, baby. This is your wake up call and it doesn't come sweet. So sit back, relax, because we about to get into it. So let's keep it real here. Because some of y'all are spiritually sleepwalking, stuck between who you were and who you're being called to be. One foot still in the fantasy, the other dragging behind like it's scared to move. You're living between worlds. And that space, that limbo, that's the most dangerous place to stay. See, spirit's not confused. You are. And it's not even real confusion, it's spiritual avoidance. You already know what needs to be done, what needs to be let go, who needs to be let go, what chapter needs to be closed, but your ass keeps flipping the page back, rereading the same paragraph like maybe this time the ending's going to change and it won't. It won't. You're not confused. You're scared. You're scared that if you leave this story behind, nothing better will come. You're scared that the connection, the job, the identity, the situationship, that all of that was the peak. And you're scared that this is as good as it gets. But let me gag y'all real quick, right? Because that version of you that believes that actually believes that, that's the version that spirit is trying to kill off. And baby, they're dying hard because you keep clutching onto the past like it owes you something, like it didn't already show you who it was or what it was. The red flags wasn't red enough. The delays weren't loud enough. The heartbreak, the lies, the dreams that kept crumbling. Was that not a clear enough fucking sign? You're dragging your feet to your own destiny and then blaming spirit like it's God's fault. You keep choosing chaos. Be so fucking for real. Because spirit has already shown you the truth. You just refuse to accept it because it doesn't come wrapped in the outcome that you wanted. Well, guess what? It doesn't have your twin flame's name on it. It doesn't come with the apology, the breakthrough, the moment of closure that your ego demanded. Closure is a scam. It's an excuse your ego uses to stay stuck. And you're staying stuck because deep down, you're terrified of your own power, terrified of what would happen if you actually stopped waiting and maybe started moving. But let's be real, you're the fucking empress. You don't need a co star to step into your power. You don't need a sign to move. What you need is a green light. And the green light has already been green. You've just been sitting at the intersection, staring at it, waiting for permission. Stop asking for permission to be powerful. Stop waiting for someone to validate your intuition. Stop delaying your life until the fantasy becomes real. Because here's the raw truth, that fantasy is expired. It had an expiration date, and you've been trying to drink spoiled milk and wondering why the fuck your stomach continues to hurt. Girl, I wonder why. Spirit said this week that we're in, this is the week of choice. This is the week of surrender. This is the week you either become the person that you've been pretending you already were, or you keep living a lie. That person you keep imagining yourself as, the one who's confident, abundant, healed, loved, booked, paid, peaceful, glowing, like they only show up when you drop the version of you that keeps settling. that keeps waiting, that keeps wondering what if. Fuck the what ifs. I mean, what if it doesn't work out? What if you're alone forever? What if they never come back? Okay. What if they don't? What if you finally get free? What if the version of your life spirit is trying to hand you is bigger? I don't know, better, deeper, more powerful than anything you've ever known. But you'll never know because you won't take the damn step. You won't listen. You're still clinging to the version of you that needed the pain to feel worthy. But you have to let it go. Let them go. This isn't just another reading. This is the mirror that you've been avoiding. This is the clarity that you keep asking for. So now it's time to act on it. Part one, the illusion that you've been living in. Spirit said it loud and clear. You've been asking, but confusing intensity for intimacy. You've mistaken chaos for chemistry, pain for passion. You know that tightness that you feeling in your chest? That's not love. That's your nervous system screaming for relief. And you're calling it a soul recognition. But let's be real, you didn't fall in love. You fell into a cycle. And here's the gag. You knew it from day one. Your gut said sign wasn't right. But what did you do? You ignored it because the signs were everywhere. Angel numbers, dreams, songs on shuffle. Oh, their name on a damn billboard. So you thought, oh, this must be fate. No, that was your trauma radar going off. That was your inner child getting activated. That was your spiritual team throwing up red flags while you were busy turning them into rose petals. Yes, the connection was real, but that connection was a catalyst, not a contract. They weren't meant to stay. They weren't sent to stay. They were sent to shake you awake. And instead of graduating from the lesson, you kept re-enrolling into the fantasy. Still trying to drag a ghost into your garden. Still trying to resuscitate a connection that flatlined months ago. Still swearing, oh, but I can feel them thinking about me. Listen, sweetheart, you are being emotionally breadcrumbed in HD. This man, this whoever, because it's going to be different for everyone out there, but whoever this person is, they've been sending you spiritual push notifications, but no actual text. They live in your dreams, but not in your real life. The signs, they keep coming, but so does the silence, the stagnation, the ache, deep, deep ache of waiting. Let's tell the truth. This ain't a twin flame journey no more. You're in a trauma bond that got spiritualized because you've been told that this pain has purpose, that every rejection is redirection, that this suffering is just union prep. But baby, what if it's not? What if it's not? What if it's just you being gaslit by your own hope? You keep thinking this is a divine detour when really it's spiritual stagnation dressed in sacred language. You think you're being patient, but you're actually being paralyzed. And let's clock the tower moment, shall we? You know the ones I'm talking about, the crashes, the chaos, the gut punches that hit right after you think y'all are finally getting somewhere. You'll get a download, a dream, a telepathic message. And for a second, it lights you up like, oh, this is the sign. Oh, he's coming back different. She's coming back different. And then boom, silence, chaos, nothing. It's not union prep, it's a wake up call. Spirit didn't put you on this earth to be a damn spiritual receptionist, checking in on his or her progress while your life is on hold. You're not a karmic chaperone. You're not their guardian angel. And you're not here to prove your loyalty to a ghost. Let's talk about what really happened. The person mirrored your wounds. They showed you every soft, cracked place inside of you. They poked it, activated it, and then walked off, leaving you spiraling, calling it activation, calling it a lesson. Yeah, they cracked you open all right. And yeah, they showed you something real, but guess what? So can heartbreak, so can pain, so can betrayal. And you don't have to romanticize it to validate your growth. That's the fucking illusion. That if you hang on long enough, spirit is going to reward your devotion by delivering the fairy tale. And it does not work like that. I'm telling you. Personally, I know. Spirit is rewarding your discernment, your ability to walk away even when you still love them, your strength to say, oh, my heart is open, but I will not be a doormat. Your clarity to know that love should feel like peace, not war. And don't get it twisted. Listen, this isn't about bitterness. No, absolutely the fuck not. Because you're not angry. You're aware. You're finally waking up to the fact that intensity doesn't equal destiny. That just because you felt something deep doesn't mean it was meant to last. Because that quote unquote divine union, it doesn't mean you have to play savior to somebody else's spiritual laziness. Because you're not here to wait. You're here to lead. You didn't come to earth to choose fate. You came to embody it. And that means standing up, walking away, building a life you know you deserve, even if that means leaving them behind. Because listen, you can't resurrect someone who's spiritually asleep and choosing to stay that way. You can't force someone to be ready just because you are. And you sure as hell can't drag a corpse in a promised land and expect it to bloom. So here's the real question. Are you going to keep calling this divine timing, or are you ready to call it what it actually is? Delusion dressed up in destiny. Because this illusion, it's not real anymore. But you are. And it's time to come home to that truth. Part 2. The real reason this keeps coming up. You let go, but you still check. You surrender, but you still scan the timeline. You say you're done, but spirit keeps showing you 111, 222. They name every time you try to move on. And here's why. It's not them. It's the lesson. They aren't returning. That version of you that allowed that dynamic is. But guess what? You've grown. You've leveled up, you've got options now. And spirit isn't testing your patience, they're testing your standards. Okay, you want to know why this cycle keeps circling back? Why it feels like you're doing the work but still stuck in the same cycle? Why the blessings feel 1 inch out of reach? It's not just bad luck, it's not just timing. Spirit is exposing the actual root, and you're not gonna like it. You keep thinking this is about another delay, another test, another phase of trusting the process, and it's not. It's about the fact that you're holding space for a version of yourself that does not exist anymore. But yet you keep trying to bring them back. This is about fantasy, illusion, projection. You keep dreaming of a breakthrough, but you won't fully decide what kind of reality you're even trying to build. Like, you keep saying you want alignment, but you're not aligned with your own clarity. You're still letting your desire for something override your ability to discern if it's even good for you. And here's the gag. You've outgrown what you've been chasing, but because it once meant something, you don't know how to release it without guilt. No. You see, that old love, that old idea, that old timeline, it once gave you hope, and now it's become the very thing that's draining your power. So, no, like I said, you are not confused. You're attached. And Spirit is saying this: enough is enough. This isn't just about a person or a moment. It's about a deeper spiritual contract that you're still trying to rewrite when you were been supposed to end it. And what's wow? You know this. You feel it in your bones. You felt the shift. You feel how certain things just don't hit anymore. How certain people make your spirit ache instead of rise. Like, but there you go. Still checking their page. Still hoping for closure. You still talking about it like it's not over, right? I have this thing that I say: if you're not talking, then you stalking. And the real reason this is coming up again is because you are in resistance to your own evolution. You say you want love, but are you ready to receive a love that actually sees you? Because it won't look like what you've been conditioned to chase. It won't look like any of what's out here on YouTube and what's on TikTok, especially not within these twin flame readings. No, 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 no. It won't come through drama. It won't come with breadcrumbs. It won't be confusing. And that scares the version of you who learned to survive on crumbs. You say you want money and recognition, but do you believe you're worthy of being chosen without suffering first? Or are you still unconsciously waiting for life to break you before it blesses you? Because that's how you've always known success. Well, guess what? This week is the reset. This is where spirit says, listen, you ask for more, but more cannot fit in a life designed for less. You are being shifted out of survival into stability, out of hope into knowing, out of longing into receiving. But that shift isn't external, it's internal. It starts with a decision, not a vague one, not a, oh, we're just going to see what happens. No, a clear one. You want the new life? You got to release the old identity. That means releasing the need to be understood by the people who only knew the broken you. That means releasing the narratives that you've built around the underdog just so you have something to prove. That means releasing the shame that still clings to your success story, like you're scared to be seen in your fullness because people might not relate anymore, whatever the fuck that means. Let it all go. You are not for everyone. You're not meant to be. You are for the version of yourself who is finally ready to stop performing worthiness and just fucking embody it. This chapter is for the builder, the one who shows up without applause, the one who doesn't wait to be chosen to start creating, the one who doesn't need a cosign to validate their destiny, because you're stepping into something massive, but it will not land until you're walking in alignment with it. It's like trying to download a whole new operating system while still running old ass software. We see it happen every year. iOS updates, new iPhone come out. Come on now. It glitches, it crashes, it won't install. Spirit is saying choose and choose now because the window is open, but it won't last forever. This life that you're dreaming of, it's real and it's damn close. But it's not going to chase you down while you're busy making excuses for a version of you that should have been buried in the last chapter. This time, the reward is not for the most loyal, it's for the most ready. So, are you ready? Or are you still fantasizing about spirit telling you something that you already knew you needed to release? Because either way, I mean, the truth is here now and it won't be unseen. So, part three, the rebirth through this release. Since we're here now, this is the part where Spirit doesn't want your questions. Spirit wants your obedience, right? This is the part where you're not going to be spoon fed signs, synchronicities, or cute little angel numbers because you already know what this is. And Spirit's not repeating itself. At this point, you're either going to put the damn bags down or keep dragging them up a hill, wondering why you can't breathe. I mean, you've been doing the work, right? Or so you've convinced yourself. Meditating, cleansing, journaling, maybe pulling cards, talking to your guides. But deep down, you're still hoping that one of those rituals will fix them. And you know who I'm talking about. You're still hoping that if you ascend high enough, maybe they'll meet you there. Still keeping the door cracked just in case they suddenly become who you wanted them to be, right? But is that healing? No. That's emotional codependency in a spiritual outfit. And Spirit's done playing dress up with you. Like, this is the part where the fantasy burns off and you're left with the truth. Like, you cannot save someone who's comfortable in their mess. You can't wait on someone who doesn't know what time it is. You can't keep choosing potential over peace and expect to be rewarded for it because that's not loyalty. That is self abandonment with a halo on top. You keep asking, oh, when are things going to shift? And Spirit's been asking, when are you going to shift? Because you've been waiting for the storm to pass instead of realizing that you are the damn storm. You are the disruptor. You are the one meant to clear this path, not sit at the edge of it, hoping that somebody's going to come by and rescue you. So this week, this is your initiation. The version of you that keeps doubting herself, himself, that keeps settling, that keeps thinking love has to be carried and earned through struggle. Like that version of you has to go. Not gently, not gradually, immediately. Because this isn't about moving on from them anymore. It's about moving on from who you had to become to survive the connection. The over explainer, the oh, just one more sign, girly. The version of you that lowered your standards just to feel chosen when deep down you knew you were always meant to be the one doing the choosing. It's over. It's done. Grieve it, bless it, bury it. Because once you drop the weight of this cycle, and I mean like actually drop, okay? Not pretend to let it go while still spiritually stalking their ass in 5D. Nah. The blessings that have been working and waiting on you will finally land. The visibility, it was never blocked. The love, it was never delayed. The money, it was never withheld. You were just too wrapped up in a story that no longer included you. And see, this is the part where you rewrite it. This is the part where your life clicks back into place because you finally stepped out of the fog. This is that chapter that we call rebirth. Not because the pain stopped, but because you stopped participating in it. Because you were never supposed to die in the dark night of the soul. You were supposed to rise out of it like a phoenix. So go ahead. More in the fantasy. Let the tears come if they need to. Lord knows I personal problem's not about to come out, but Lord knows I okay. Throw the pity party one last time. But tomorrow, oh bitch, tomorrow we build again. And not from desperation, but from embodiment. Okay. You already made it through the hard part. You already saw the truth. Now all that's left to do is walk away with your head high and your arms open. Because freedom isn't found in their return. It's found in your release. Part 4. What happens when you fully let go? Because here's the gag. The reason all of this has felt so heavy isn't because you're broke. It's because you were never meant to carry this story forever. This wasn't your ending. It was your awakening. And that's where so many people go wrong. Trust me, I have been there. Okay. September 13th, 2019, the day that changed my life fucking forever. When I tell you all of the gifts that came, when I tell you all of the synchronicities that came, when I tell you I would not even be the person who I am right now had it not been for that day and that person in a way that it changed my life. I am not speaking just as a healer. I'm speaking as a participant in the bullshit that truly understands. Okay. I was too a part of the collective that woke up a couple of years ago, and I was on the divine partner twin flame journey. I get it. As a divine feminine, I get it. But again, that was never meant to be our story to carry forever because it wasn't our ending. It was our awakening. But instead of letting it wake you up, y'all keep pressing snooze, hoping a dream would get sweeter if you held on just a little longer. But Spirit is saying, no, baby, baby. This isn't a lullaby. It's a siren's blaring wake up call. Okay? That unfinished business, that ache you keep calling intuition, is not a message from them. No, it's your soul screaming to cut the cord. Every time you feel that tension in your chest, that restless confusion in your gut, that's not fate trying to get you to chase them. That's divine disruption. That spirit's cracking the illusion open so you can finally choose you. Like, because what actually happens when you choose you, when you finally let go, like fully, right? It's that the spiritual withdrawal ends. The obsessive overthinking ends. The holding space for someone who refuses to fill it ends. The karmic loop, the breadcrumb trail, the telepathic nonsense that never delivers in 3D. Like, it ends. And you know what begins? Reclamation, power, joy, creation, forward movement, and peace. Real, unbothered. I don't need closure. I got clarity type of peace. Letting go isn't passive. It's rebellion. It's mastery. It's you saying, I am no longer available for half hearted energy. I am no longer participating in dynamics where I have to dim, beg, or bleed to be seen. Letting go doesn't mean you didn't love, it means you finally loved yourself more. So this week, the shift isn't about them showing up, it's about you showing out. You reclaim your time, you reclaim your power, you reclaim your capacity to be poured into. Not because you begged for it, but because you walked away from what never did. You stopped choosing potential over peace. You stopped trying to master someone else's lesson when your own blessings are knocking at your door. You stop dancing in old fire and wonder why your new skin won't grow. And here's what really changes once you commit to the letting go. You stop asking if they'll come back and start asking who you are without their shadow on your heart. You stop checking the signs and start becoming the signal. You stop surviving the wound and start leading from the wisdom it gave you. Because you weren't meant to be the broken one. You were meant to be the blueprint, the one that got away and got everything. Let that sink in. Because the moment that you finally stop resisting the release, the universe stops delaying your reward. And see this part right here? This is where it gets beautiful. Not because it's easy, because a lot of people don't make it to this part. A lot of people don't. They get stuck on that hamster wheel. They'll come back in 5 years, finally hearing this message, and it'll resonate then, even though it wouldn't now. But this is where it gets beautiful, not because it's easy, but because it's real. And because you no longer need validation from someone who didn't even value your light. You realize the love that you were looking for wasn't in their return. It was in your return to self. That is the true divine feminine. You find out that nothing was wasted. Not the pain, not the tears, not the longing, not the time. Because it all led you back to this moment, this choice, this portal, where you finally understand that the real closure was your evolution. And now you're not chasing the next text, the next apology, the next reunion. You're walking into your next level, louder, softer, smarter, wiser, free. So let me say this with my whole chest. You weren't sent here to almost receive. And you weren't sent here to get close and then fumble. You weren't sent here to play it safe, spiritualize your stuckness, or settle for potential wrapped in pain. You were sent here to fucking win loudly, fully, unapologetically. But that kind of victory, that kind of legacy, that kind of love in life where love actually feels safe and money flows freely and you're actually fulfilled, that doesn't come from just watching readings and hoping that the vibe shift. It comes when you do the fucking work. And I don't mean hustling harder. I mean aligning deeper. Because here's the truth that nobody wants to say. And I'm going to say it because y'all know how I am. Some of y'all spend $400 on concert tickets for celebrities who wouldn't recognize you if you screamed their name. But you won't invest in unlocking the blueprint of your own soul. You'll binge drama, celebrity beef, and TikTok tarot, but won't sit down and decode why you keep manifesting more lessons than blessings. This is your moment to change that. Book your full alignment reading, not the quickie, not the teaser, the real one. The one that shifts your timeline, not just your mood. Because Beyonce studies her birth chart. Jay-Z plans his moves around astrology. You think they're billionaires by accident? Mm-mm. And I also do the same for myself weekly, sometimes multiple times a week, because I like to make sure I'm consistently in alignment. And I also do the same for my clients. So if you're ready to stop surviving and start strategizing to turn your pain into purpose and your intuition into a plan, then book the session that changes your trajectory because this isn't for the weak. It's for the ones who are ready to win for real. TheAligningsouls.com. Click full alignment. Let's put it all into one place. Your story, your chart, your destiny, your coin, your love life. And let me be clear, this moment wasn't random. This week isn't random. It's written. But now, are you ready to rewrite everything? Go ahead. Put your coin where your transformation is. The spirit has already moved. Now it's your turn.
Tell me